One of the final remnants of what we once knew, Atlantis the Lost Empire is one of the last major animated films from Disney before they made the switch over to digital animated. My name is Jeremy and I host Listening to the Movies on 101.7 Civil Radio or on www.civl.ca. I play classic hits from great film soundtracks, and while the month of April was over, I decided to play one more film for Disney Month. Atlantis is one of the more mature Disney animated films for its time, not so much in message like Pocahontas was, but in image and content. The film is about a young man named Milo who dreams of finding the lost city of Atlantis that his grandfather inspired him to find, but he never has been taken seriously. That is until an old friend of his grandfather's offers him the money, equipment, and team to go down and find the lost city. Along the way, they encounter several dangers, including a giant robot lobster. When they find the city, he discovers their lack of technology that they once had but now have lost, and he helps them rebuild the society. Atlantis was a mature film in the sense that within 15 minutes, the huge awesome submarine we all saw in the ads was destroyed and over 100 people died. That's pretty heavy for a Disney film. People do die quite often in this film, and they don't seem to be bothered by it. All good for them, as it has certainly come a long way since the absence of death that was in Bambi, but it is a bit much for a kid to understand. Also, the dialogue for this film is a bit much for a 7-year-old. The talk about ancient civilizations, machinery, and profit are all a bit much for a kid. I admit when I saw it, I didn't have a clue what was going on at times. Having watched it now, I understand what's going on, but I can see why the film wasn't a success at the box office. I applaud Disney for taking risks they did back then when they were doing hand-animated films. This film had the first important black secondary character ever in Disney history, which was Joshua Sweet. While it isn't a great film, it does make me miss the old Disney. Now with 3D and digital animation, the old way of hand animation is lost, except from the Japanese. This was a turning point in Disney's future as they would go from kid-related things like animation and fantasy to sitcoms and the Jonas Brothers. Atlantis is a gem among the Disney library. It has an amazing story and executes it decently, but not enough in the sense that a young child would understand. I, however, do really like the characters and their different personalities and the way they interact with each other. I also would say that possibly because it has no songs in it, the pacing of the film is the best of all the Disney films in my opinion. The story is very smooth, and while it does speed up a little bit near the end, it is still more well laid out than any other Disney film I can think of. James Newton Howard takes on the role of providing music for a lyricless song film, and does a good job. Intense score pieces and lovely pieces of music accompany the film quite well, and he did a good job of filling in the void. Atlantis is a good movie, and it is a mark to the ending of an era. I would recommend it for nostalgia value, if anything else. If you guys want to listen to the recording of the show, click the first link in the description. If you want to find out what I'm going to play next, click the second link for the Facebook page. Thanks for watching, guys.